time to wake up, America. If you're sleeping, it's time to wake up. I don't know about you or the rest of the world, but I know I'm sick and tired of everything that we see going on right now. You see the division, constant media manipulative division. If we don't stand up and unite together right now, the United States of America will no longer exist the way it exists right now in history for you and your family. What do I mean by stand up? We have to come together and unite as people in numbers. And we have to do it strategically, methodically, and we can't do it with fear as the motivation. I'm holding this flag, which my grandfather inherited when he was laid to rest very recently. And this represents the freedom in our country that exists today because of men and women like my grandfather that have risked their lives and in many cases given their lives as a sacrifice and a ransom to protect the freedoms and the liberties that you and I get to enjoy every single day in the greatest country in the world. My dad was a Marine. I served for 12 years. My brother's currently serving. My cousin, my other cousin, my uncle, my whole family, basically. My aunt, they've all served. And I'm not saying that for a hero card or to try to highlight us being veterans. Many do it for many different reasons, but ultimately, we all want to see this nation survive and thrive. We want to see our children's children survive and thrive and be free. Right now, we're seeing so much division, and the media is constantly trying to keep us isolated in our minds. We have to expand our thinking and think bigger than what's going on right now. We can't just unite together and have protested rallies and expect that these things are going to be listened to by the elite. Oh yeah, the Illuminati. Are these things real? 3 years ago, if you would have talked to anyone and told them that a pandemic was coming and it was going to take over the whole world, no one would have believed you. You would have been called a conspiracist. Welcome to conspiracy being fulfilled right in front of your eyes as a fact. The things we're going through and have gone through up to this point, our children having no choice whether or not they can wear a mask or not wear a mask in school. They can't breathe. They're running around during recess and gym class. They have to raise their hand to ask a question. Is it okay to pull down their mask so that they can see their face? They can't see each other smiling and interacting. So the psychology of their brain being stimulated by that as a young child to grow up in an environment so that they love their neighbor. They're trying to steal all of this away, and they're doing it in every aspect that they can, starting with our children, our career environments. You have to stand up for your constitutionally protected rights. Otherwise, they will not be preserved. Our independence wasn't established without a rivalry against tyranny. It took bloodshed for freedom to exist. Otherwise, there are people that are evil and want to steal, kill, and destroy your way of life. Look at what's happening right now. Black versus white, masked versus unmasked, vaccinated versus unvaccinated. When is it going to end? They're suppressing the truth. They won't prescribe you drugs that are clinically tested, like ivermectin. You're not allowed to talk about it. I'm assuming that this video is going to be taken down because I am talking about it. I've had a nurse practitioner tell me straight to my face that she prescribed ivermectin to one of her patients and she was better within 3 days. My fiance, from personal experience, has been bullied and harassed and basically made to feel like if she doesn't take the vaccine, she's going to be losing her job. We fought it. We fought it with our protected liberties and freedoms that are constitutionally protected by law. And guess what? They denied her for her religious exemption. Her coworker was approved. How does that work? Who's making these rules? Who makes this stuff up? And when that didn't work, we had to turn to her medical exemption and resubmit it and completely make them aware that if they didn't honor it, it would be reported to the EEOC under Title VII for her religious exemptions being infringed upon and discriminatory behaviors in the workplace. And she works in the medical field. Stand up, people, for your rights, because she just was notified that they overturned it and she now has her job and she doesn't have to be vaccinated. Why are they pushing so hard to give you a vaccination and you can still transmit and carry both Corona and the Delta variant, and it can still take you out? You're no more immune to receiving COVID if you're vaccinated or not, or wearing a mask or not. At some point, we all just need to get it. Stay healthy, take vitamin C, take zinc, take your daily vitamins, exercise. They close the gyms down, go outside, exercise. Do push-ups in your living room, do sit-ups in your living room. We can all benefit from a healthy lifestyle. God made our bodies in a unique way, and He's a mastermind, a perfect mind. God knows that we can survive anything. And the scriptures tell us that seasons will come and go, and they'll continue to come and go until the end. He knows the time and the season. We could be living in a ripe season right now, and it's time to wake up. I just hope and pray that people unite together and stop standing for division. We have to unite together if you want your freedoms and your liberties to exist. If you want to be able to bear arms, you can't let them take these freedoms from you. They're doing everything they can. How many shootings do we constantly hear about? And they're highlighted in the media so that the American people live in fear, believing that the gun is the problem rather than the heart of the human being that's behind the trigger. Teach your kids gun safety. Teach them how to use a weapon responsibly, not to point it at other people. These are critical skill sets that help people to survive for generation after generation after generation. I would rather that you have a gun and are carrying a gun and I'm carrying a gun so that when we get into a conflict over, let's say, road rage on the road, maybe I think about that before my life's put at risk and we can settle things in an old-fashioned way. We have to think, people. Stop just believing that this is all gonna just float away and everything's just gonna get better. Butterflies and rainbows are gonna come out and we're all gonna be good to go. You have to stand up and fight. You have to speak out. You have to talk to your neighbors, your friends, those that are in these critical fields that are experiencing the suppression. If she were to have gotten fired, they would have voluntarily terminated her in the system against her own will so that she wouldn't be eligible to receive state-given unemployment-related benefits. Everything they are doing is so unlawful and evil, none of it makes sense. I'm sick and tired of it, and I know many of you out there are so sick and tired of this. You can't go anywhere without putting a stupid mask over your face. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Go ahead. If you want to stick a needle in your arm and take a vaccination and trust that this government is putting something inside of your body against your will, go ahead. They cannot force you. It's a mental decision that you have to make. So decide accordingly for yourself. It's enough said for now. Hopefully we wake up. Stop being a sleeping sheep.